look at just even this first line. I'm not reading the whole thing. That would literally be 20 minutes. But well, I'm usually not so good when it comes to condensing my words. Like, what? All right, so what's the purpose of this video? I feel like we need this video as like a buffer between last video and next devlog. And I'm also going to be doing a new challenge, or I'm going to be partaking in a new challenge that I made up. I mean, someone else has probably made it up at some point, but I'm calling it the 7-Day Devlog Challenge. And it's pretty self-explanatory. For 7 days, I'm going to be uploading one devlog a day. We're not counting today, because this isn't even a devlog. I was thinking about counting this one, but I guess I won't. So that's pretty much the plan in a nutshell. There's a little bit I want to talk about with last video, and I want to do a little thank you section at the end and all that. But I mean, you got the summary just like that of what I'm actually going to be doing with this challenge, which will be starting tomorrow. So we're going to be doing the thank you later, but I just thanks for being with me for those couple days. If you were there and you watched that video as it came out, I really poured my heart out into that video. If you didn't notice, if you've seen it, if you haven't seen it, you could see it in just click the corner, the eye icon. It will be a link to that video. And I said a lot of cringy things in that video, so I hope you won't hold it against me. Hopefully, I mean, it's kind of hard to, not have your view changed of me a little bit after all of that. So, yeah. And speaking of thank yous, even though this isn't the thank you section still, I mentioned a thank you video in the last video that was supposed to come out before last video. I know it's confusing, and that's not coming out just because it was just too embarrassing, honestly. And I'm gonna do a little thank you section at the end of this video instead. So it's all over the place, just like last video and the comments in the last video that I left. We'll get more into that in a bit. Let's just talk about a little bit of stuff. There's still, I really want to get this game done, right? And this 100-stage dodge game is a game where you dodge enemies and you try and pass through each stage. And I mean, the game's done, technically, and it's been done for like over a year at this point. But I want to just add these final features that I want to add to really, make the experience, like I want to, I guess, fully, or just add all the stuff I want to add. And then we could go over 200-stage dodge game. Because tell me that isn't the best sequel title. But yeah. But anyway, I'm not going straight into 200-stage dodge game if I do that. If I do a sequel, then I'm doing it, after a few, or at least a couple projects, probably. But yeah. So yeah, I really want to get this game done, and I don't think there's a lot of stuff to do still, but there's not at the same time. But yeah, let's go back to talking about last video. Like I said, I want to be a bit more personal and more than just for last video, because I know if I'm just that way just for that video, then I don't think it's gonna change anything in the long term. So, I don't want to be like crying on video, every video or something like that. But obviously those are extreme case. But yeah, like maybe you'll learn a bit more about me. I can mention anything really, like, oh, I went to the gym, oh, I went and I'm trying to learn how to draw, or trying to learn a new language, something cool I thought about, anything really. And, maybe do a few more jokes as well. Anyway. Alright, let's do a little bit of a thank you thing. This is probably going to be the majority of the video, honestly. I'm not sure. I'll specifically talk about two people, and it's Fennec Fu in Indie. I mentioned Indie last time. I mentioned Indie kind of like casually, like I mentioned her before because I did in that thank you video that I never released or finished. So that's why you got mentioned so kind of abruptly, I guess, did I? But you, both of you probably could tell I was struggling not only when I was recording the video, but also after I posted it. So I'm gonna have to mention it just to kind of make fun of it a little bit, just to because it was so weird, honestly. And oh gosh, okNobleDev's talking about honesty again. Anyway, out of all the cringy things, like the video, obviously, the description was pretty cringy as well. Like I was just like, I just put whatever in there, honestly. And okay, I'm still saying honestly. All right, but the worst of all was the cherry on top, the cringe fest. It was last video was my reply to Indie, right? So I'm gonna have to mention this real quick. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that comment. I blame it on my lack of sleep. I had like 2 hours of sleep or something like that. So that's what I'm blaming it on. So please forgive me. Uh, Hopefully that wasn't too weird of a reply, even though it was. Like, look at this. Check this out. Look at just even this first line. I'm not reading the whole thing. That would literally be 20 minutes. But well, I'm usually not so good when it comes to condensing my words. Like what? I'm sorry. I was being dramatic with that. So I just want to say sorry. That was weird of me. Obviously I was a little emotional as I replied. So I mean, I feel like I had to mention it because like it was such a weird reply. I had to mention it. So I put in my notes, do funny Indie impression. I'm I'm not doing that. No, I'm not doing that. I'll do it. I'll do it one day. But oh, there I am delaying stuff again. But in terms of Fennec Fu, I'm still gonna be adding uh, a story to the game. That was about a year ago now when you made that suggestion. I looked and I'm like, wow, how little progress have I made? But that's a really good idea. And maybe stuff like some like lore fragment kind of things that you kind of find throughout the stages, and they kind of give you little hints at what the story, like the universe or something like that. That would be pretty cool, I think. So still doing it, and I replied and I pretty much said the exact same thing, but I just want to mention it in the video just to say thank you, both of you. And last thing I'll say is, I mean, it's a sign of really, like, not even joking at all. It's a sign of, like, those who are with you at your worst are, the people you should cherish the most, I think. And, you know, I just want to say that it really means a lot to me. And hopefully you could, that's why I like to do it in the video, because you really understand that it does mean a lot rather than just a comment, even though I mean, you can probably tell it means a lot either way, but I just really want to, make sure you guys know that it really meant a lot to me that you were there. That sounded pretty motivational. And there's one last thing I'll actually mention because I just skipped over it. So once I did that video, right, it was like I was getting like a bunch of recommendations in my videos, my YouTube feed or whatever, of like motivation. And even I'll show you a screenshot. I also got a recommended tag for that video, motivation for success or something like that. And I don't think I put motivation in like anywhere in the description or anything like that. So That was kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie. But take with that what you will. Is that how you say that phrase? Take that as you will? I don't even know anymore. This video is weird as well. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And I will never change. I couldn't even if I wanted to for you. There's nothing left to say. If I was you, then I would stay 1,000 miles away. 1,000 miles away. Yeah. That was the song I mentioned last video.